What up, everybody? Back again with another video, this time on the B&T APC9K Pro. That was a mouthful. So this is the variant of the APC9 that was actually adopted by the U.S. military, contracted earlier this year, as the first subgun to be implemented into the military since the MP5. So let's talk about why they likely made that decision. So first off, the 9K Pro, it's a 4.5-inch barrel, so really short. It's a really compact package. There's nothing really that is bulky about this thing. It's nice and slim. It's got very similar ergonomics to an AR, with the exception of the bolt lock and release that is conveniently integrated right above the trigger guard. So you just basically have an ambidextrous and non-reciprocating charging handle on either side that you can choose from. And once you pull that slide back or the bolt back, you can lock it into place by pulling this little lever up, and you can release it by lowering it. So you've got ambi mag release buttons on either side as well. Kind of hard to see it because I've got the as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and take this off using the second magazine release button here on the left side of the gun. Everything on here is ambi, including the safety. As you can see, it's a little bit more pronounced on the left hand side for your thumb to be able to manipulate, and it's a little bit narrower on the right hand side of the gun. It's not going to be affecting your grip when you're shooting this thing and you get a little bit of recoil. But when it comes to recoil, there's not much to speak of, honestly, and I'm going to show you guys why in a little bit. Well, first of all, it's a 9mm, right? So in general, these are not the hardest hitting guns by any stretch of the imagination. However, that's not to say that when you're shooting at a full auto pace that you won't have muzzle rise and some sort of resistance that's going to take you off of your target. So anything that you can do as a manufacturer of such a type of subgun to mitigate some of that recoil obviously is going to set you aside from your competitors. So what B&T has done, which is very similar in all their APC9s, is they've integrated a little dampening spring system back here, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to open this thing up in a second here, but yeah, it works really well. And what you get now, this is not on all the packages. This is what the military's version of the APC9K Pro comes with, except theirs is a stock. This is a brace, but this is a collapsing. It's a collapsing brace in this case, and this is a Gearhead Works Mod 1C tail hook that's on this brace adapter that comes from B&T, and it collapses into 3 different positions, and fully closed, fully opened, and then these 2 other mid-length positions right over here. With that being said, it's nice and easy because all you got to do in order to open this thing up is just pull it. There's no button to have to press or anything like that. It's just a simple pull. When you want to collapse it, you do have a button right here just above where your thumb would be sitting, and you just push that, and gravity will actually collapse this thing all the way down. So very nice, very solid type of stock / brace system that B&T has incorporated into this thing. These rails have almost no give. They're very solid. I do believe that they are steel. They do not feel like aluminum. What I do have is 2 of these magazines that are coupled together with this B&T coupler, and they fit really nicely because these magazines on the back side have these little notches that are on the bottom of the base plate almost, and they fit into these little, basically these little slots, and then they do have like a little indentation that fits into the little slots that are carved out into these magazines, so they fit nice and securely, and then you can tighten them down with these bolts. So nothing crazy there, but just a nice lockup, and then it gives you at least a little bit of play, so that you know, you're not looking at too tight of too much tension between these two. So if you do need a little room to wiggle your magazine out or whatnot, they're not completely going to be like glued together here. This optic is one that you don't see a lot anymore, although I don't realize why, because they are freaking awesome. This is the Holosun 508T, and it's a micro red dot. Well, this one's a green one in this particular scenario. But anyways, it looks really nice on this build because it just kind of follows the same type of just micro size of everything else involved in this gun, and it has that shape and that angle that kind of blends very, very well with this gun. And because of the titanium housing, and because of the very, very strong structural strength of this optic, it makes it a nice small micro red dot that you don't really have to worry too much about when it comes to being able to take a few drops of this thing. So you can see right here, it's kind of hard to see without the camera focusing in on the actual reticle, but the reticle is like a bullseye reticle, kind of what you get with the EOTech. You have a little solar panel that's on top of this thing, and this will be to adjust it for auto brightness, which is pretty nice, so that you don't have to really worry too much about having to manually control this thing in different lighting settings. So what else do I have on here? I've got just some rails. So the new APC9K Pros that you end up buying, and this is as of late 2020. When you get them, they're going to come with some plastic Magpul rail sections, and it's only a 3-slot section, so it looks a little short, and already makes a very short gun look even shorter. So I like the 5-slot metal rails here that I got from B&T. So it gives you a little bit more space to work with. It gives that gun a little bit more of a longer looking profile, even though it doesn't really alter anything in terms of overall length, but just it really seemed like a short front end with that 3-slot rail that was on there. It just kind of makes you feel a little uneasy looking at that. I know it has nothing to do with the actual size of the thing. It's not going to have any difference in terms of operation, but I don't know, just the look of a 3-slot rail sitting over here just kind of made me feel uneasy about getting my freaking hand in front of that muzzle. So anyways, this does come with 2 different end caps here. So this is the tri-lug adapter that does come with inside the box, and it also comes with just a threaded cap as well, but the threaded cap will come out to about here, so it gives it an even shorter profile. With the tri-lug adapter, at least extends that barrel out an extra ½ an inch or so. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and strip this thing down real quick for you so I could show you the guts. So in order for you to really open everything, all you need is just a bullet tip right here. And just like an AR, you're just going to have the 2 takedown pins that you're going to have to remove. Once you do that, you get your upper removed, and then all you have to do is just kind of push this back plate as part of the brace assembly downwards, and it'll pop right out. So this is that hydraulic system that I was talking about. And as you can see, there's not much to it. It's just a spring and dampener. And what this does is, as the bolt, so let me just kind of put everything here, align it for you. But very simply, as the bolt is cycling, and this is obviously inside, okay, the bolt comes back, and it's a big, chunky bolt. It's just kind of a solid rectangular type of bolt. It's coming back, and just before it's about to basically back all the way to the back of the receiver, it's hitting this damper and it's just kind of softening the end of that recoil and giving it a little nudge back forward. Now, what that does is it takes down the recoil to about 1.5 pounds, and that is very, very mild. Okay, and what that in turn helps you do is to keep that muzzle rise from really impacting your point of your point of aim and your point of impact. So it helps out a lot with staying accurate, and again, that's especially so when you're rapid firing or you are in full auto or in full auto burst. So that is something that, again, it just it makes just that little bit of difference on all the APC guns, and it does really make it noticeable, especially if you're shooting any comparable competitive model side by side that doesn't have any type of recoil mitigation system, and that's just a simple blowback. So for example, if you fire this side by side with a Scorpion, you'll notice the difference. If you're firing it side by side with even something like an MPX, you'll notice a difference. The only time where you're maybe going to have a gun that is a little bit softer shooting than this is with a roller delayed type of subgun like a MP5. And even then, the difference is very, very marginal. And what you do get in terms of the build quality and all the rail spacing and the modern design of this thing is something that is a little bit more suitable for modern day tactical situations. And you have tons of space to work with and tons of accessory options that you can end up using with a gun like this versus something like an MP5K or something shorter that's more comparable to this thing, where you don't have as much rail space to work with or modern day options of handguards and whatnot. They do sell aftermarket stuff, obviously, but I'm just talking about, just kind of like base to base, without having to alter any portions of the gun. Again, the other advantage that this has over just about all of its competition is the fact that everything's ambi, and you have non-reciprocating charging handles on either side. So again, you don't have to worry about that thing smacking you. Your thumb is going to be right in this area somewhere. And the fact that these do not reciprocate obviously helps with all that being done. Just kind of summarizing what makes this thing special. It is a very compact package that definitely would be concealable for somebody in military, law enforcement, or any type of special group that is looking for something that they can wear on them without giving themselves away, but something that's got enough firepower to where you can still handle just about any type of tall task. B, you have a very, very intelligent recoil mitigation system that does not really alter too much of the simplistic design of the blowback system. And therefore, you have a reliable platform that is going to be able to work in the long run without giving you any type of issues and without requiring any type of normal maintenance for the most part. Now, obviously, opening this thing up in the field, cleaning it out, doing whatever you need to do, just as simple as any AR. 2 takedown pins, you're done. You don't have any type of special tools that you need to take this thing apart, and it's very, very easy to clean. And finally, when it comes to just kind of overall build quality, what you're getting for the money. So you are getting a Swiss masterpiece here, and one that shoots soft, one that is super accurate with an excellent barrel, and one that will get you everything that you possibly could want out of a subgun, and do it in the highest quality possible. I cannot think of one reason why the military would not have contracted this gun. So, is it as good, if not better, than any other subgun I've ever shot? Yes, absolutely. I would say the most comparable gun that I can think of in this category would be the MP5K despite the fact that that is still, even to this day, as old as it is, one of the best subguns on the planet, with the incorporation of all of these modern day, manipulating mechanisms on this gun to make it easier for the user to actually reload and to be able to clear out malfunctions or whatnot. It gives this thing just a slight edge over its competitors. Are there any flaws? Are there any downfalls? I'd say maybe the price, because these things don't come cheap at just about $2,400. So $2,400, and that's not including any type of brace system for this thing. So if you're looking at a BNT folding brace or folding stock or whatnot, you're going to be looking at another $150, $200 when you get your adapter, and you end up getting whatever type of folding brace or stock that you're going to buy for this thing. If you're looking at this the telescoping one, these are right around $600 to $700. So then you're looking at over a $3,000 gun, and you haven't even touched optics yet. You haven't touched any type of accessories besides just whatever you're going to shoulder this thing with. But you get what you pay for, and what you get is a top of the line subgun with super soft, shooting capabilities, and you are getting a package that some would argue is maybe one of the most advanced type of weapon systems overall with the APC lineup, which includes the APC 45, the 9, 9K Pro, 45 Pro, APC 223, APC 308. So all of them kind of sit very similarly in this platform, where they've designed them almost identically in terms of the lowers and the uppers and the recoil mitigation, like buffer and spring and all that kind of stuff. All that is very, very similar. And all of them, I would argue, are among the best and top of their class. So it is a badass gun. If you've got the money and you're looking for a truly, truly compact subgun, and you're looking for one that, you get kind of the bragging rights of knowing that the military's got the same one now, you are looking at one badass package right over here. And if you're looking for something that's maybe comparable and not too much in terms of, the dollar amount, look at a Strybog. Look at, even an MPX, something like that. They're all pretty comparable when it really comes down to the way that they shoot. They're all soft shooters. They're all accurate for the most part. And I really haven't seen any compelling evidence that any of them are that much more reliable than the other. But, if you're looking for that top dog right now, this one's it. So if you have any questions, guys, as always, keep them coming in the comments section. Don't forget that we're going to be drawing a winner for the Vortex Crossfire RD1 Red Dot on Christmas Eve, December 24th. And I will make an announcement during my next video. And hopefully we'll have that person picked, and we'll have the optics shipped to them. And until then, guys, I will see you on the next. Take care, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody. Thanks.